Welcome to the Boss Babe Fit channel. If you're watching this, then you are interested in health and fitness and living a healthy and happy lifestyle. So what I want to talk about today is actually a very hot topic, and the title is your dieting making you fatter? This is something that I get asked about a lot because a lot of women are stuck in that cycle of cutting calories, counting calories, dieting, gaining weight, gaining even more weight back, dieting again, or there's just always an excuse to diet. There's always a reason why you want to cut, or you want to cut for a vacation or a wedding or summer or spring or fall or whatever it is. So I think it's a very common thing that women get into, and I'll dive deep a little bit more into the science of it. The main thing that I want to talk about was when you're dieting, you're actually triggering your body's natural survival mechanism. So what that means is our bodies want to have fat storage on them, and not obscene amounts of fat storage, but it wants to have some fat there. Because if you're thinking, hundreds of years ago, if we didn't have a food supply near us, then we would need to be able to use our fat storages to be able to function, to survive. So our bodies are used to going through these fasting periods of no food and utilizing our body fat. Another video I really want to do is on fasting, because I use intermittent fasting in my own programs, and I am a huge proponent for fasting. So we can get into that another day. But you'll see girls or women or guys as well, they'll diet and they'll do another diet and they'll do another diet, and they end up actually gaining weight long term, and they end up from, let's say age 20 to age 40 being way more overweight than when they first started. So why is this kind of cycle happening? And there's a multitude of factors. We all know that correlation isn't causation, so you shouldn't just say, oh, they're dieting, that makes them fat. But there's some things, there's a good way to do it and there's a bad way to do it. What is actually happening when you are in a cutting or dieting phase? First of all, I hate the word dieting, so I like to say cutting or calorie restriction. When you're reducing your calories, your metabolism actually slows down. And this is kind of counterintuitive, right? You would think, oh, okay, my body's trying to burn off all this food, like I'm not eating that much. Well, what happens is if you're not eating very much food, your body says, oh no, I don't know when I'm gonna be fed again. I'm just gonna put a brake on fat loss, and I'm gonna preserve as much fat as I can, triggering that body's survival mechanism. That is what's happening. Your metabolism actually is slowing down as you cut. So if people, cut for a very long time, your metabolism is going to end up a lot slower than it was when you started dieting. This is where people get into trouble, because what they'll do is they'll slow down their metabolism, and so they're at a very low metabolism. Their body's getting used to basically functioning on, like, let's say 1,000 calories. Say they dieted down and they're only eating 1,000 calories per day. That's not a lot. If you just jump back up to 2,000, your metabolism doesn't have time to go back up. So there's gonna be rapid weight gain. And there's a number of reasons why rapid weight gain would occur after this period of dieting. So when you're doing a diet or when you're doing a cut, it should be like, going into battle. You get in there, you go hard, and you do your work, you dominate, and then you get out of it, right? You don't want to be doing these diets over and over again and kind of doing that yo-yo dieting phase. People also, what I see happen is they'll do, especially in the bodybuilder fitness community, is they'll do a show and then they'll be so restrictive during their whole cut that post-show they go crazy. They eat everything in sight, their hormones are so out of whack, like their hunger hormones are way through the roof, so they just keep eating and they can't control it. And there's actually reasons why this occurs. And so if you're doing that and you're creating that binge cycle, basically it feeds into that cycle of, binging on food and then feeling guilty about it, wanting to punish yourself with cardio and more restrictiveness, and then binging again, and it creates a binge eating cycle. And a lot of people get stuck in this for a little bit, and if they don't pull out, or if they don't get themselves out of it, then they're actually going to be storing fat. And a lot of times you'll see them balloon up, gain a ton amount of weight and even go past their weight they started when they first did their prep or their first diet. So that's not what I want. That's not what Boss Babe Fit is about. So I want to tell you how you can do it and do it effectively. When we're talking about dieting, I just want to be really clear because reducing your calories itself is not going to cause you to gain weight in the short term, right? So if you're just reducing your calories for, let's say, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, that's not going to actually make you gain weight initially. It's the overall long term, so your lifespan, what's happening to your body if you're not doing these phases of cycling properly. Let's look at why. Why does our body, why is it able to just gain weight after we've dieted? Or why do you see people that go on a diet and then they gain the weight back plus more? Hormones. I spoke a little bit about hunger hormones, so ghrelin. These hormones are in a position where they are not triggering your brain to say that you're full. So because you've been restricting for so long, they're like, I need food, I need to just eat whatever else is in sight. And it's not just you. Like, this happens to a lot of people, especially the more restrictive you are, this happens even more. Your thyroid hormone could be low, your hormones could just be out of balance in general. So doing things that help balance your hormones, help restore them, I definitely recommend. Being less super restrictive. Like, a lot of people when they go on a diet, they're like, no carbs, chicken and broccoli, just all like basically three things of food, and that's all they can stick to. So being able to have that discipline but not being super restricted. Your fat cells are actually sensitive to gaining fat. So when you diet, your fat cells are actually shrinking, and post-diet, they can actually balloon up even past the point that they were before. So not only will you see your fat cells increase in size, but you'll actually regain more, you'll grow more fat cells. So there'll be additional fat cells in the tissue, and long term, you can't get rid of fat cells. They can shrink, but to actually get rid of fat cells is a whole nother ball game. So you're actually adding more fat stores into your body, and these cycles of doing these low calorie diets and then ballooning back up, low calorie diets, you'll actually gain more fat in fat cells and in the actual in the diameter of the fat cells as well. So that's not good. That's going to put you in a really bad position to diet again, right? So it's getting out of the cycle of like, you gain all the weight back, and then what's your only option? Oh, I gotta diet again and try and lose it all. And then you maybe lose 10 pounds this time, and then you're like, oh, and it's not working as well, I'm just gonna go off my diet. And then you gain 20 pounds and now you're 40 pounds overweight, and then you try and diet again and it's even harder. So why I'm kind of leading up to this is because there's a way to do it. There's a couple other reasons, so I'll just hit them really quick. So we went over your metabolism slows down, also your self-control. So this is kind of the mindset aspect of dieting. When we restrict and we tell ourselves, I'm on a diet, I'm being super restrictive, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have this, it does something to our mind, and we have only so much self-control and so much self-discipline. You guys have probably heard this before, like, you know, you are way more to make the right decisions at the beginning of the day than at the end of the night, because you only have so much in a 24-hour period. That's why it's crucial to have really structured plans so that you set yourself up for success, especially at the end of the day when your mind is a little bit weaker. Limited self-control, and then you've activated your body's self-defense mechanism. So going back to the survival thing, if you're super lean and your body's like, oh my god, like, I can't sustain this, if I don't get food then I won't be able to, you know, live, or I don't know, it's a survival mechanism. So activating that can also cause you to just gain weight more quick than if you were at a higher calorie intake. How does your body actually do this? And this is getting a little bit more in depth, but the physiological responses is basically your body is going to be, your metabolism is going to get more efficient, right? And this is kind of a weird concept because people will be like, well, that doesn't make sense. My metabolism is getting more efficient. So let's say you're doing, let's say an hour of cardio a day and you're eating 1,000 calories. your metabolism is actually adjusting to that so that it's going to be able to do that activity and eat that amount of food and burn less calories in a 24-hour period. That's not good. That's not what you want when you're trying to lose body fat, because it's counterintuitive, right? You want it to be less efficient so that it will just keep burning, and then in that way you're going to actually be able to shed the body fat. Think about it like this. A car goes 1 kilometer and it uses 1 liter of gas, right? Versus a car that goes 1 kilometer and uses 10 liters of gas. Obviously, the car that uses 10 liters is less efficient because it's burning way more gas. So that's how our bodies are. It's gonna burn way more fat if it's less efficient. So that's what we want. Over a prolonged period of time, your metabolism actually gets efficient, so you have to be able to reverse diet and get your calories back up. So reverse dieting is a concept that a lot of people don't really know about. It's kind of blown up in the past couple years, but it is essential. Whenever you do a cut or a diet or anything, you should have a reverse diet plan, and you should be building up to, okay, I'm going to be super diligent with my reverse diet. That will set you up for success long term, and when you go to do a cut again or go to do a diet, you're going to actually have success, and even better success. You're going to be putting your body in a way better metabolic position to be able to lean out, shed that weight, feel better while you're on prep, eat more food when you're on prep, do less cardio. And so reverse dieting is key. Now I'm actually going to be doing a video on reverse dieting as well, because I know a lot of people are confused of what it is. It's kind of like, what? I've heard of dieting, but what the heck is reverse dieting? So I'm going to be doing a full video on that as well. But I just wanted to get basically some basics out there. So if you are confused and you're wondering, why is this just me, or why is it seeming like every time I diet this happens, you can get that foundation, and then I'll talk about reverse diet in my next video. If you guys want to see a reverse diet plan in our Boss Babe Fit membership site, then let me know, comment below. And this is a completely new channel, so make sure to subscribe, make sure to like the videos, because it does help other people see these videos. And I'm going to be doing a lot more in terms of nutrition and educating you guys of how to do this long term and how to do this for life, right? I don't want you guys just to lose 10 pounds, lose 20, lose 40, and then gain it all back on. That doesn't mean anything. If you guys can keep the weight off, feel good in your body all year round, and make long-term success, like, that's what I'm out to do. So take a comment or make a comment below. I will see you guys in the next video, and have an amazing day.